I would say like the world wasn't equal. I would say that people of our skin color were treated very differently, and there was a lot of inequality going on. They were often murdered or framed or put behind bars for a numerous amount of time based on something that was small, you know. And I would just tell them to be aware of it.
At some point when they're old enough to understand it, I would sit down and like, this is what happened when I was a teenager. This was the outcome. This is what you need to know, and this is what you need to do as a person. A lot of it is going to depend on what happens in the future. I hope that we come to a point where the education system will talk about it in the right way, and we'll see the movement for what it is and teach it correctly and show this moment in time. As so much of Black history and so much of the history with civil rights, so much of that has been erased and not taught to children in schools. And I'm hoping that we get to a point where that stops.
I want to know every single detail. I'm that type of person. So I would tell them which people I knew that was in the front line, so they can have a vivid description. I would see if I could pull up clips online. I would tell them where I was at the moment, who I was talking to when I saw it, how it all came about. I'll tell them about Blackout Tuesday. I'll tell them about how social media was a big influence on this movement. First, I would have to start with COVID. 2020 has been crazy all around. But I would just start with COVID and then slowly lead to this, because I need to set the scene of how important this is. We're in a whole global pandemic, and we have our brothers and sisters out on the front lines, even though they could get sick and potentially get their family sick, but they're out there in masks for their rights. That's amazing. That's what I would tell my children if I decide to have them.
What I would tell my children, I would sit down and tell them that, you know what I mean, it was a time in America, you know, that everything wasn't going so great. And I was scared for y'all generation, you know what I mean, that y'all would have to experience this. So we fought, you know what I mean, not violently. We fought with protesting, peaceful protesting, you know what I mean. And we fought by going to school and getting jobs.
Overall, I think I would want them to understand like how important they are. Even if things like don't change, I would want them to understand that their lives matter, and that being Black doesn't make them like any less of a person, or doesn't mean that there's anything wrong with them, or that they deserve to be treated unjustly. Yeah.